Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah. In today's session, I'm going to be using a Pilates bar. I've never used one of these before, so hopefully this will be quite good fun. I'll be really honest with you, this is just me making it up on the spot. It was supposed to last about 15 minutes, but it ended up being about half an hour. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy it. Leave me a comment at the end if you do. Let me know how you get on. See you soon. So this is my new toy, my Pilates bar. This routine is going to be quite quick. I literally just wanted to try it out, try a few exercises with it just to see how I feel about it. So if you're joining me, thank you ever so much. Or if you're thinking about getting a Pilates bar and you just want to have a look and just see what it's all about, thank you also for joining me. You could probably do some of this routine without the bar, to be honest with you. So yeah. See what we think, shall we? So I think we're going to have like a stand-up start. We'll do a bit of a warm-up and just feel out the tension. Also, I've got my microphone on here, so I hope that the jingling and the jangling doesn't interfere too much with the sound. So apologies in advance if that happens. All right, so as I say, a bit of a standing start. I'm going to take myself to the end of my mat. So I've got my mat in front of me. In terms of holding onto the bar, if you just find the center of it and then just widen out your hands so they're about shoulder width here, and then you can just relax your arms down. Make sure you've got your feet about hip width apart. Let's keep the shoulders back and down then. So we're going to lengthen through the spine. Try and get the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, so you're really lengthening through. Keep those knees soft. Okay. All right, let's take a nice breath in through the nose. And then as we breathe out, draw the navel in towards the spine. Okay, so you've got part of your core muscles activated there. You're just drawing the navel in so you can feel these muscles here are a bit more tight. Okay, good. Let's try and hold those muscles in place as we just take a couple more breaths in and out. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you might feel as you breathe in that your rib cage slightly expands out to the side. This is called lateral breathing because we've got the tummy muscles a little bit tight there. We can't breathe down, so we breathe sideways instead to try and get as much air into the lungs. Okay, let's start to warm up then. So with our hand, let's just bring it up by the chest or in front of the chest first and foremost. And then we're going to just reach it up towards the ceiling. When you do this, try not to flare the rib cage, okay, because it sends the spine into extension, so we want to avoid that. Let's come down to the chest and then relax the arms. Okay, we're going to do it again. So chest and then up. So we're just getting a feel for the strength of the bands that are attached to the bar. Okay, good stuff. So when we breathe out, this is when we reach up. Okay, so always try to exhale on the most difficult or the hardest part of any exercise or any movement. Lovely. Now we're going to try and keep our arms raised here. Keep those knees nice and soft. All right, we're going for a couple of roll downs here. So what we need to do is think of the spine like a bicycle chain or a string of pearls, because you're going to unpeel the spine as we start to roll down. So let's breathe in, and as we exhale, draw the navel in. We're going to bring the arms down and nod the chin to the chest, around the upper back and unpeel the spine. You're just coming towards the floor with your head and your arms. Just allow the top of the head to hang towards the floor, and your arms should be like a rag doll. Okay, breathing in. Let's exhale to gently and slowly roll up, and then we'll reach back up with the bar. Good, and let's just go again then. Breathing in. Exhale, engage the core, nod the chin, round the upper back, unpeel the spine. Again, just allowing the head, the neck and the arms to hang loosely, and then breathe in. Exhale, roll up. Nice and steady, back to neutral. All right, last one, breathing in. Exhale, nod, round in the upper back. That's just unpeeling through the spine. And then we're breathing in. Exhale to roll up and gently reaching back up. Perfect. Now if you just take your hands a little bit wider on the band, keep your elbows soft, and remember, relaxing the rib cage. Just keep the navel in towards the spine. Okay, we're just going to turn very gently from one side to the other side. Okay, so these are thoracic twists. Now you're trying to keep your nose and your chin in line with the breastbone. So you're just very gently turning the rib cage from side to side, keeping the pelvis facing forward. So you might get a little bit of a stretch around the front and the back of the rib cage. You don't need to turn too far in either direction. Lovely. Let's make sure that we exhale on the turn. Inhale to face forward. Good. Okay, just a couple more. Feeling it a little bit in the shoulders now and the arms. Perfect. Now, if you need to relax your arms, that's fine. But I'm going to keep mine up here to see if I can really work my shoulders today. So we're just going to widen out the feet to about shoulder width here. Again, a nice lengthened spine. Try not to flare that rib cage. Draw the navel in. Okay, we're going to do some side bends. So all I want to do here is just take my right arm, I'm going to reach it up and just tilt my upper body to the left. Come back and same over to the right. So really stretching out the band as I reach up with each arm. Again, just trying to make sure my pelvis stays nice and still. We're going to exhale on the tilt, inhale, come back to center, just keeping the core engaged throughout. Feeling it a little bit kind of hot around those shoulders, really feeling the strength and the tension in the band. Good. Okay, last ones. And then we'll make this one the last one here. Perfect. Okay, let's try and combine those two movements then. So we'll do a thoracic twist to the left. Face forward, a side bend left. Okay, to the right with the twist, to the right with the bend. Nice and controlled. Just making sure the pelvis stays absolutely still. Okay, remember, exhale on the hardest part of every movement. Inhale in between. So, breathe. And breathe. Lovely. Well done. Remember, if you need to rest, it's completely fine. If you really want to work those shoulders, let's try and keep those arms raised. Good. Let's just go one more to each side then. One more repetition to each side. Good. And we'll come back. Let's now give those arms a little bit of a rest. Give the shoulders a rest. Couple of rolls, get rid of any tension around the neck and the shoulder region. All right, we're going to keep our feet where they are. So they should be about shoulder width. We're going to just take the bar out in front of us. So with your hands here, you can have them back in line with your shoulders. So just bring them a bit closer in on the bar. Okay, now obviously right now there's no tension in the band, but I'm just going to soften the knees. I'm going to be going into a squat position. So let's just come down, making sure the knees don't go in front of the toes. What we also need to not do here is tuck the tailbone under or lift it up. It's a nice neutral pelvis, so there's no pulling in the lower back. Okay, so now let's reach up. So now there's some tension, and as we come up, the bar comes down. So we're going arms up, arms down. So every time you go into your squat, we're reaching up with those arms. All right, so really think about the pelvis here. Make sure you have body weight in the heels. You can hinge at the hips here. So your spine doesn't have to be upright. Just lean forward, but don't flex forward. So we're not bending the spine. Good. Exhale, inhale. Good, really feeling it around those shoulders, getting into the back of the legs and the glutes. Well done. Okay, let's go for another 3, 2. We're going to hold it for a little bit of pulsing. Pulse, 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 pulse. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, done. Let's give the shoulders a roll. That might have got your heart rate up slightly as well. Okay, now let's come to the center of our mats now. What we're going to do is take our right foot forward. and just lengthen out the left leg behind you. So we're holding onto the band about kind of chest level, and there's a bend at the front knee. You've got your heel down at the back. So try and reach forward with your band. You can feel this right hand side pulling because there's lots of tension. So this shoulder's going to work a little bit harder at the moment. Okay, now with your spine, just come into a vertical position here. Now we're going to take this right knee down towards the floor. Come back up, okay? I'm going to stay on this same side. Now, every time you come down with your knee, reach the bar up. Okay, so you can feel it wobbling and wanting to twist. So that's half of the exercises. Woo, maintaining the control. Try and make sure that the shoulders and the hips are in line with that back knee. So you're basically not doing this. You want a nice line. Good. And we're going for 4, 3, 2. Working those shoulders still. Let's see if we can pulse this last one. Pulse, 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 pulse. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and well done. Breathe. Okay, let's try it on the other side then. So right foot forward, left leg back. Let's have the knee bent at the front. Take our arms out in front of the chest. So now we've got that pulling on the left. Okay, so spine upright. Very gently down with the knee. Okay, let's just find our balance first. Chest and pelvis facing forward. And now we can start to raise up. Ooh, and down with the band. It's really challenging to keep it still. I quite like this. All right, let me get my form correct because I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. All right, well done. Feeling that stretch around the front of the thigh. Whew. Good. Taking the knee as low as we can, but don't bash the floor. Okay, let's go for 4. Woo. 3, 2, and then we're going to pulse it here. All right, so down we come. Keep those arms up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Breathe. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wowzers, let's come up. Perfect. Okay, just give your hips a bit of a wiggle as well. All right, let's turn to the front. So if you come to the center of your mat, and then we're going to have the feet a little bit closer together, not quite together, but a little bit further in than hip width apart. Okay, and then we'll hold onto we'll hold onto the bar out in front of us here. So a little bit of balance for this one. So if you soften your knees, because we don't want to lock them out, we're then going to reach up with the band. I keep calling it a band, I'm sorry, it's a bar. I use bands in my other classes. Okay, so a little bit of balance. Let's transfer all our body weight onto the right leg. And you're going to lift your left foot off the floor. Let's take this left leg out. Bring it back in. Keeping the pelvis facing forward. Make sure your toes are pointing at the wall in front of you. So we're not turning the knee out to the side. Exhale, inhale. And you're going to feel that lovely little squeeze as you bring the leg back in. Really balanced. Good. Try and keep the band, if I call it a band again, keep the bar nice and still. Let's work the hips. You'll feel it down the back of your right leg here as well. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're just going to pulse it. So keep the leg out to the side. Little tiny pulses. Really feeling those shoulders. Try not to let the bar come down. Pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. And down. Give those shoulders a roll. Lovely. So let's try it on the other side then. So feet quite close together, but not all the way together. Softening the knees. Gently up with the bar. Okay. So body weight now on the left leg. We're just going to lift the right leg. So Just find your balance. Let's go out to the side, squeeze back in. So in terms of breathing, although I said exhale out, inhale in, you can do it the other way. Essentially this part here, the squeeze, is the hardest part of the movement there. We're going to go slowly. Okay, so and breathe. You can do that too. Just keep your core engaged. Keep the navel towards the spine, and just remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. All right, really feeling it now down the back of that left leg. Ooh, find the balance. Keep it there. Lovely. Right, let's go for 3, 2, 1. Hold it here, so not too high, and little pulses. Good. Lots of balance. Shoulder work. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Ooh, give those shoulders a lovely roll. Perfect. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor next. Let's do a little bit of work with abdominals. So I'm going to do something a bit strange here. You can join me with this if you like, but please be careful, because you're going to take your feet, if you're going to do it with me, you're going to take your feet nice and wide on your mat, and then we're going to bend the knees and come into a seated position. Okay, so if that's not for you, just bring yourself down nice and carefully into seated, and make sure you've got a bit of space behind you. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, shoulders back and down, arms out in front. Okay, so we've got hold of the bar with hands about shoulder width. Let's have the knees and feet in a crook position then, so knees and feet are hip width apart, and we're sitting on our sit bones nice and tall. All right, good. Now we're just going to roll back into supine. So if you take your bar up above your head, you're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, draw your navel in and up towards the rib cage. You're just jumping off your sit bones, and we're very slowly and carefully going to roll down into supine. Now you can lengthen out the legs here, flex your ankles, legs can be together, and then you're just going to take the bar and reach it overhead. Okay, so you're stretching your arms out, arms by your ears. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of work with abdominals. We'll use the roll up. So you can already feel there's lots of tension in the bands by the side of the bar. Okay, so lots of shoulder work again. Now let's breathe in as we start to reach our arms up. We then exhale here, engage the core, start to press the lower back towards the floor as you lift your head and shoulders, unpeel the spine, reach towards the wall in front, and nod the chin. So you've got your bar hopefully somewhere around your feet. Now don't worry if you can't get all the way here, just go as far as you can. Breathe in and reach back up. We're going to go back again. Okay, so on your next out breath, engage the core. Just lean back, slowly come down, keep your feet down, and reach back with the band. Okay, so let's go again. Breathe in, exhale, lift the back of the head, arms parallel to the legs, nod the chin when you get towards the feet. And remember, can't stress this enough, don't force that movement, just go as far as you can. Breathe in, reach up, exhale, we're rolling down. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to hold this position here and do a little bit of work with the hip flexors as well, so bringing the legs into play. So what we'll do is very gently press the lower back towards the floor and draw your navel in. Lift the feet. See if you can bring them into a vertical position. Okay, now we're going to lower the feet down, lower the legs down. So exhale. Keep the core engaged. Go slowly. Try and take the feet towards the floor, but stop if you feel that your pelvis is going to tip forward. So you can keep this going, really working those abdominals, getting into the hip flexors. Good. So even if you just get to here, that's absolutely fine. If you do feel that your pelvis is tipping forward, you can use an imprinting technique, which is where you press the lower back towards the floor as you take your legs down. Okay, let's just make that one the last one. Keep the legs vertical. Now, if you can just lift your head, so you're looking now at your ankles or the middle of your shins, and you're just going to take the bar towards your knees. Okay, now we're going to do this next exercise, very similar, but with the head and shoulders lifted. So you should have your shoulder blades off the floor here. So arms back, just take them so they're by your ears and lower the legs to 45 degrees. Okay, and then come back. So you can keep your arms lengthened, just try and tap gently the shins. Ooh, works the abs a lot more, okay, so you really will feel this around the hip flexors as well. So the muscle, if you're feeling this around your upper thighs towards the pelvis, that's correct. But just make sure you keep your pelvis nice and still. Good. Let's go for another 3 and 2. Last one. And then we'll relax that. Now, if you want to just gently put the bar up in front of your knees, relax your head down and just give yourself a rest there. If you want to circle your knees around in opposite directions, that will massage the lower back as well. Alright, next exercise then, what we're going to do is just reach the bar up towards the ceiling. So we're just lengthening out the arms, and then we're going to take the legs back out at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so ankles flexed here as well. Remember, if your pelvis is tipping forward, just press your lower back down, keep your core engaged. Then you're just going to take your arms overhead. Okay, so lengthen down, but soft elbows, try not to lock them out. Okay, you need to have your feet not quite hip width apart, but a little bit closer in. And then we're going to bend the right knee, just bring it in towards you. Again, we've got more tension in this left side than the right. Let's take that leg out. Bring the left knee in. Okay, so keep hold of your band at your bar. Try and keep it nice and still as you bring the knees in.
And extend the leg out.
Okay, good. Now we're going to add another little movement. So as you bring one knee in, the other leg is obviously lengthened. You're going to lower it down towards the floor. Bring it back, lengthen out the other leg, in with the knee, lower the leg. Okay, so knee in, leg out and down. Opposite side. So alternating sides, opposite legs. Does that make sense? Alternating sides, alternating knees. Okay, good. Again, you've got to try and keep hold of this bar. That's it, nice and still. And breathe. I've messed that up there. So that's it. So you're trying to bring the legs back to that 45-degree angle before you bend one knee to lower the other leg down. Hopefully that makes more sense. All right, pelvic stability. So use your core to hold the pelvis in place, but lots of shoulder work as well. Good. Okay, last 2 and 1. Let's bring those knees back again. Have another little rest. Breathe normally and deeply. Just get the oxygen flowing around your body and relax those shoulders. Okay, let's come to seated then. All we're going to do is bring the knees in, lift the back of the head and the shoulders and rock up to a seated position. Okay, so if you just want to pop your bands down, maybe you want to take your feet out of the bands and we'll come to a seated position on the mat, just facing forward. Let's have a little bit of a stretch out then. So we'll just put the bar to the side. Okay, we're doing a bit of work with shoulders there. Okay, so if you want to just come into a kneeling position, an upright kneeling position, if you've got problems or issues with your knees, okay, just be careful with this one. You can probably do this one from standing as well. You're just going to take your hands, place them behind your back so your fingers are interlaced, shoulders back and down, and gently open up the chest. Raise your arms up behind you and just enjoy a little stretch. So it is a chest stretch, but you might feel it here around the shoulders as well. Okay, good. And then we're going to take the arms forward, interlace those fingers, open up the shoulder blades, reach the fingers forward. That's it, good. But try and maintain a lengthened spine. Fantastic. Okay, and then if you just relax your arms, you're then going to just take your left hand, pat yourself on the shoulder behind you, take your elbow, raise it up, and just try and press backwards. Here, again, try not to flare the rib cage. If you can remain neutral, okay, and take the elbow back, you'll get a better stretch. Okay, so just hold it there, getting into those triceps, and then we'll do it again on the other side. So just swapping sides, just give yourself a pat on the right. That's it, take your elbow gently back, don't force it, just feel a bit of a stretch here. That's it, good. And then relax that, just give the shoulders a nice little roll as well. Okay, so we've done a little bit of work with hips, so if you just come back to a seated position, let's just have a bit of a glute stretch. So if we take the legs out in front of us, and then you're going to take the left foot, place it over your right knee. Okay, just relax the left knee out to the side, and then if you bend your right knee, bring your heel in, just pop your hands behind you, and then push gently into the floor, lift your breastbone, and you should feel a good stretch around the left hip there. Okay, let's just give those a bit of a stretch out too. Good. And then we'll swap sides, okay? So lengthen out the legs, right foot over the left knee, very gently bring the left heel in, so you're bending the knee, push the floor away from you to lift the breastbone, because you'll notice if you kind of relax your body, you don't get much of a stretch around that right hip, so just push into the floor, lift the breastbone, so you're lengthening your spine, and there's your stretch. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's relax that then. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy the workout, please give the video a thumbs up, give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Then you'll always be notified of any of the workouts that I upload. Alright, have a lovely day. Take care.
Thanks again for joining me. Hope to see you again next time.